Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This vlog is going to be particularly exciting but also very scary at the same time. I recently did my June favorites where I mentioned that I will be looking for some new lenses for my Canon EOS R50 camera, and today is the day that I think I'm going to buy quite a few lenses for the camera. Over the last few days I've spent some time doing a lot of research, and I came into the digital experience here at Fourways Crossing and I managed to try out a bunch of lenses that I was thinking of getting, and I think I did make my decision. I also had found a camera on Facebook Marketplace that I was considering buying, and I went to go check it out and it was amazing. It was really cool, but I'm putting that on hold for the moment because I would prefer to add to the cameras that I already have, and I think it's only fair to spruce up and spice up my Canon R50 by getting her some new lenses, because I think it's time that I get back into photography. So the main three lenses that I wanted to get was a 50mm, a 70 to 300mm, and a 16mm. I definitely want the 15mm to be like an f1.8, which is usually a given, and those are usually the cheapest and best lenses to buy, so I will be getting myself a little nifty 50 to try out some portrait photography. The 16mm is more for filming or some sort of dual and hybrid situation for when I need to vlog and for when I need to take photos. It's really going to be great for landscape photography or kind of just that wide angle that I would need. And lastly, I picked the 75 to 300mm because my Nikon D3300 had the 75 to 300mm that I used for a lot of my wildlife photography, and it's got an f-stop starts at like 4, and honestly I'm not too mad about it. The telephoto lenses can get quite expensive, especially when you go for apertures that are particularly low, so in my budget range I suppose the 75 to 300mm is a very comfortable lens for me because I had it with my Nikon, and I'd like to pass that on to the Canon so that I can use it for wildlife photography. And although I don't really have much safari and wildlife touring planned, I think it would just be nice to have. That being said, I did put my Nikon D3300 on Facebook Marketplace for a listing, so if you're interested you can have a look at that. Otherwise I will definitely be selling it and hopefully just get a little bit of money back from it, but I understand that, you know, DSLR cameras are going out and mirrorless is in, so I'm just trying to make my transition as seamless as possible. But anyways, I do have work very shortly, so I've got about a 20 to 30 minute window to go and get these lenses. And yeah, today I have work from like 11:30 until 6 p.m, so I'm not gonna have a great time to unbox and review my lenses. However, I will be doing a part 2 of this, and I think I'll just put this in one vlog so that you guys can skip to that timestamp if you really want to, and I think I will be doing an unboxing and testing tomorrow. But anyways, I think it's time. Let's head in. So I'm back in the car and we did get our lenses. I got all three. They did tell me that there is going to be a price increase in July, so I am aware of the price increase for a lot of things that are going to happen or things that are happening in July. So they said that they can't estimate what kind of a price increase there would be, and I don't know if I was willing to risk that because 2 out of the 3 lenses were already on special, so I guess I took advantage of that, I suppose, and I would sort of save myself a little later with not having to get them. Maybe that's also me just trying to convince myself that I did a good thing, especially considering how much it cost. But at the end of the day, I'm extremely happy that I got my lenses, and now we have a 3 lens haul coming soon. So I have to head over to work now, and I'm gonna be busy the whole day, so I won't get to do an unboxing. However, I will be doing that tomorrow, so stay tuned for part 2 of this. Hey besties, welcome back to part 2 of this video. So yesterday we did buy 3 new Canon RF lenses, and today we are doing a little unboxing. So the time is currently 5 p.m. There is absolutely no time for me to go anywhere and sort of test these lenses out unless I'm going to capture a bit of the sunset, but I was at work for most of today, so I did not get to carry around the gear with me and kind of go to a nice place to test it out. However, I think I will make like a part 3 of this video, so if you want to skip ahead to the sample footage or me just testing out the lenses, then go to that timestamp. But I think for now I'm just going to do a little tour and a little unboxing of all of the lenses I bought. So first, talking a little bit about the camera, this is the Canon EOS R50. Again, I have done a bit of a review on it already, so if you want to go watch my camera review video, it's in there, but just some general information about it. It's mirrorless, so inside the camera you can see that there is no mirror. And this was like a classic trait of the DSLR cameras that used to capture a photo with the mirror and generate a photo. From what I've learned, the software of the cameras is a little bit more digital than they used to be, but this is apparently a really great sort of beginner camera for vlogging. But honestly, now having this camera for almost a year and a half, I've actually been enjoying having it and just using it as a photography camera. I have not been doing too much photography, I'll say. I've been doing a lot more videography, and getting my DJI has definitely made me a little bit more lazy. But now that I am selling my Nikon and I'm getting back into more like photography instead of just videography, I want to have a good range of lenses. And in comparison to my SX740, you can see like it's bulkier, but no doubt the photo quality and the video quality is fire on this. So just to speak about the lens I had before, this is the kit lens. So this one is a 18 to 45 millimeter, and I can't exactly remember what f-stop this one is. I think it is a 4.5, but let me just double check that. Yes, I was right. I know my camera. It is an f4.5, and then the camera's f-stop goes until about 22. So yeah, roundabout that is the aperture you're getting with this kind of lens. So this kit lens comes with the camera, is why it's called a kit lens, and this is kind of the situation. Again, it is a zoom lens, so you can start at 18 and then you zoom to 45. Now that I'm thinking about this, I might actually want to do like a little test in my room now to like show what it looks like on the tripod, and then I'll do like some sample content of like subjects tomorrow. But anyways, no issues with this lens whatsoever. It is beautiful. Again, it is a little bulky, especially when you have to extend it. Gets a little bulky and in the way. I would prefer a lens that did not have a zoom, and I guess that's why I got the 16 to 50, because then you actually have to physically move yourself away and toward a subject to get the perfect shot instead of just zooming. Okay, onto the stuff that y'all really wanted to see. I think we'll start with the 50mm. So this is a 50mm RF lens with an f-stop of 1.8, and like I said, this stuff is perfect for portrait photography. This is going to be your best friend. So there is bubble wrap. I did take a bit of a sneak peek yesterday, I won't lie, so this is not my first time seeing it, but we will unbox properly for the sake of this video. So this is our gorgeous nifty 50. It is a beautiful lens, and wait till you guys see the lens. Isn't she so nice and wide? The aperture on this stuff, because it's 1.8, of course, it's gonna capture as much light as possible and definitely blur out that background. You do have to be quite a distance from your subject to be able to take photos and have them in focus on this, but I guess that's good for portrait photography. Size comparison with the kit lens. The kit lens is a little taller, of course, because it is a zoom range lens, and this is a non. So, and this is the lens. You can see that she's trying to automatically use the focus control on this one, so if I just switch that dial off, it'll technically stop doing that. It's trying to find the nearest subject to focus on. She's gorgeous. I can't wait to experiment with a bit of portrait photography. I have no idea what or who my subjects will be yet. I am definitely opting for my boyfriend to become my subject for a day, and maybe his dog. Next up is our Canon RF16mm, and this is an f2.8. So again, very low aperture, which means you're gonna get so much light into the lens, and you're going to have a reasonably blurry background. However, it's a wide angle lens, so there's going to be quite a lot of space that you see. Obviously, I prefer my DJI because I'm used to vlogging on it now, so I guess I would prefer to take my DJI out. But if there are days where I have to take photos and I have to take videos, then this lens is going to be perfect for me to get some photos in as well as video. And we're gonna pop her on. Again, also has the focus control dial, and when we switch the camera on and we take the lens cap off, this is what the lens is giving us. And I will say this is a very wide angle. I will definitely show you guys the difference with it if the light is going well in a second. But I think this is really just a perfect setup, or the perfect bulkiness of a camera I'd like when I am taking photos and I am vlogging. It might get me into some sort of a landscape photography situation. And last but certainly not least, my Canon RF 75 to 300mm f4 to 5.6. So this is a really great lens for when you are shooting sports or you're doing some sort of wildlife photography, which is what I did. My Nikon D3300 had a 70 to 300mm lens, and I've shot so many photos with that lens, and I think I would not have been able to move to a new camera body without buying this lens. It was a suggestion for me to get a 100mm to 400mm, which does give you a bit more range. However, the f is like 5.6, so you have to sacrifice a little bit of aperture with the range, and I don't know if I wanted to do that just yet. And if I wanted to get a lens with a lot of range and a very low aperture, I would be spending quite a lot of money, so I'd much rather save up for a big telephoto lens and have a basic one for now. And again, I'm not going anywhere that I know of anytime soon that's gonna require me to use this lens, but I did buy it because it was going on a good special, and I think it's just really great to complete this collection. And here she is. Massive zoom lens and 75 to 300mm. So this is our size comparison. Obviously nothing on the zoom lens. This is my kit lens, which is the other zoom lens. Size comparison, not even close. However, she's very hefty, and I think it's going to be really good for wildlife photography. And we're going to try her on. Gorgeous. And the R50 body is actually very lightweight in comparison to like the R6 and the bigger Canon cameras that are out there. So the lens definitely takes the weight for this, but I guess that's fine. I mean, the purpose is to shoot like subjects way far away, so. And when we take off the lens cap, this is what she is giving. I would kiss the lens, but I can't do that. And I love that this new lens, because it's come out now for the mirrorless cameras, it's got an automatic and a manual focus function. So if I've got it on automatic focus, the lens itself will adjust to focus on a subject far away. The issue with this is that if you want to manually focus on something else, the camera will automatically detect the most focus worthy something. So if you are taking wildlife photos of buffalo, for example, and you want to catch a little bird that's on the buffalo, the lens is automatically going to focus on the buffalo unless you zoom completely in to catch the bird. And sometimes the lens can automatically focus on something else and then you don't get the shot. So it's really great for it to have a little manual switch here so that you can manually use the ring here to focus on what is more your goal for the shot. So this is what the autofocus looks like, spazzing out. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But she's currently spazzing out about what to focus on, and so when I focus on a certain something, I'm just gonna turn it back to manual focus. Locked it on manual now, and only I am the one and my camera can actually see what is to focus on. So the nice thing about the R50 and the new mirrorless cameras is that the touchscreens allow you to click on something to focus on. And if that doesn't work out, there is a ring that I can use to manually focus on a subject. So this is the manual focus ring, and then this is the range ring. And I think so far, I'm definitely going to enjoy using this lens. I feel like I need to go on a trip now. But overall, I'm absolutely obsessed. This definitely feels like a transition to my next era in photography. And I hate that I just moved from Nikon to Canon like that, but it is what it is. We move, and I'm actually really excited. So as a quick little test, I'm going to switch from my DJI right now on to the Canons, and I'm going to do a 50mm test and a 16mm test. I won't be testing this lens because I would need to be like on the other side of the room and outside of the door for it to fully focus on me and actually get me in a nice frame. So we're going to put the telephoto lens away, and I'm going to keep out the 16 and the 50. Okay, so we have switched lenses and cameras. So this is my Canon R50, and this is with the kit lens on. So we're getting an 18 to 45mm range or focus length here. I am currently on 18, and if I obviously zoom in, we're gonna get closer to the 45. And because my camera is already focused on me, it's not going to lose focus, and of course that is the limit. My lips. I haven't moved anywhere, so this is exactly what the kit lens will give you. And again, this is decent. This is really nice. So the light is not great, of course. It is almost 6 p.m. This is the best we're gonna get. And of course, if I adjust any sorts of settings like the ISO and the shutter speed, it is going to increase the exposure and make things look brighter. But for the sake of this video, I don't want too much of noise in the video, so we're just gonna have it like that. Now from the same distance, I'm going to switch my lens to the 50mm. So this is the 50mm lens from the same exact length that I was before. Of course, this goes past the 45, so again, it is very zoomed in on my lips right now. You're getting some good close-up shots, but if I move all the way back here, you're gonna start getting me into focus. I've just added some light, so I've done some top light here, and this is again 50mm lens, very far away. I'm about a meter away. And when we move closer and closer, it does get a little up close and personal. And this is what happens when I move the aperture all the way down to a 1.8. It goes all the way down, and look how much brighter it is. Again, the camera will kind of struggle to focus on me, but here's the situation. The ISO is very high, so I'm gonna knock that down a little. And this is the camera with the focus control on, and this is again about half or 3/4 of a meter away. I'm not a full meter away, but this is generally what you're gonna get with a 50mm. And this is as close as I can get to the camera. I am about 30 centimeters away from the lens, and this is as close as I can get without anything blurring fully. So now we're gonna change her out to the 16mm. And this is the 16mm lens. Now again, I am the same distance as I was from the camera as you saw me last with the 50mm. Now this is a 16. Obviously it is a lot wider. You can see so much more of my room. So this is definitely an ideal filming lens for when you want a bit of a bright situation happening. And of course, because the f-stop is so low, it's a 2.8, my background is completely blurred and I'm the only thing in focus. And of course I can change that if I'd like, but I think this is just a really good filming lens, really good focal length for what I was looking for. It's really good variation and variety. I think it's also really going to be great for like family pictures and when you kind of want that wide frame. And of course I can get closer to the camera without it blurring, so I'm quite close to the lens right now and no blur. The R50's battery is going to die, so I need to charge it quickly, and I will see you guys back on my DJI. Okay, so we are back on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. As you can see, the angle is extremely wide. The DJIs are built for that, so they capture this extreme wide angle, even though I'm merely a few centimeters away from the device. And I guess that's what makes it great for a pocket or a travel camera, but I am extremely happy with the quality and the variety of lenses I chose for my R50. And so I can't wait to shoot some sample content and test everything out. I'm currently exporting a video right now. It's going to be my June favorite, so if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. And then I will see you guys in part 3 of this video for some sample footage.